Hey guys, it's Coach David here. Wanted to utilize a different format for the town hall this time around, just because it really was kind of a bad weekend. A lot of people are out of town, still enjoying kind of July 4th stuff, vacations, and various things like that. So with only a handful of you present on Saturday, I decided this would probably be a better way to communicate. Not to mention too, this town hall, there isn't a lot of new material to cover. There will be some cool kind of exciting little tidbits and stuff, but mostly we're going to want to focus on what we want to do with the equipment fund money that we've already really kind of accumulated. And special shout out will be to somebody who wishes to remain nameless here, but they contributed a very healthy sum of money to the equipment fund. So that'll kind of be the big thing. So sometime when you see this video, you will also see a link to the Google survey that you'll be able to fill out for what we do with the equipment fund money, as well as a couple other decisions, or even kind of putting some feelers out there for a few other important stuff to consider in the future here. Okay, so anyway, wanted to kind of catch us up since our last town hall meeting, and by the way, I should say too, I think the last one was about 50 minutes. Obviously, this would be shorter because we're not going to have that time for the kind of open discussion. But with that survey I'm putting out, you will have an opportunity to comment, with anything that's important to you. Just talking to some people yesterday, they brought up how they again want to see the videos the pictures of the workouts posted the night before. We will work on that, as well as a couple other things we're going to move towards in that direction. But anyway, so there will be an opportunity to comment, not quite an open forum session, but obviously too, you are always welcome to send me an email, a text, phone call, or whatever, if you ever have a concern. So, but anyway, so catching us back up, this it was almost around like 3 months to the date that we had our last town hall meeting. And so at that time, we talked a lot about like the referral contest that we wound up very successfully running back in May and June. And in that, I'm very grateful for all the efforts there. Both Angel and Julie wound up getting some pretty nice gift cards for all the effort that they took to bring new people into the gym who wound up signing up, and now we have actually some awesome members because of those efforts. And all of you in some way kind of contributed. We had several crazy nights that were just super fun for me, where we brought 6 to 8 new people into a class setting where I was able to kind of assist as a second coach. And it was just kind of a really fun and exciting time. Kind of reminded me a lot of the previous Groupon days that we used to experience back when we first opened, where literally it went from 2, maybe 3 people in a class to like 12 people showing up, saying, "Hey, I've got this. What do I get for it?" And so obviously it was much more controlled, less crazy than that, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Out of that effort, we've definitely seen our ranks grow quite a bit. Wow, can't talk right now. And that's great, and I really appreciate that. It really, truly, my favorite way to grow this business is through referrals, of course. So, in fact, you probably know I'm not a big fan of marketing, even through social media and things like that. While I understand it's totally necessary for business sake, if we didn't have to market because everybody every month, every couple months, whatever, was bringing somebody in new who wanted becoming a member, that would be awesome. That's the ideal business because it's definitely more qualified in many ways, and there's already obviously good ties to what we do, explanation for that, and kind of natural kind of commiseration that develops there for people to kind of go through some of the tougher times in their beginning journey with CrossFit, knowing that, hey, my friend or my significant other or my boss or my coworker or my employee, whoever, they got through it, so can I. Let me reach out for help and all that kind of stuff. So So again, thank you to everybody who brought their friends in. Dina brought a huge number of people in. Julie, obviously Angel, who both won the gift cards. Who else? Michelle, Bennett. I'm trying to think what else. Rhonda, a couple of you. We had quite a few people who brought their friends, and so really just amazing effort on that part. I think I'd like to do something similar again in a few months. Maybe kind of change the way we do it, open up more bring a friend days. Oh yeah, Laura was another one. But anyway, so we'll kind of talk about that probably at the next town hall meeting. And so set your calendars. Next town hall meeting probably will be in October. Probably shooting again for like the middle range of October. I will obviously have more details about that in the upcoming months. So yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about the membership. So when I left you last 3 months ago, we were at 108 members, right? Can you even see that? Oh yeah, you can see it. Membership. We were at 108 members in April of 2018, and if you recall, that is over double what we were in the beginning of the year 2018. So over the course of 3 months, we went 56, if I remember, about 56 or 54 members in that time. So awesome, super great, right? And then now in July, literally as of today, we're at 120 members. So that's exciting to me too, because actually this time of year is the hardest growth year for us historically. So over the course of now 4 summers, soon to hit our 5th fall coming year with our 5-year celebration in September, it's always been the case that basically from about the end of May, definitely June, and July through August, it is slow going in membership. But for us to still add 12 members over the course of 3 months, which of course equals about 4 members a month on average. You know me, I like to do math. That's impressive, because in the previous years, I think our average gain on over the course of about a 3-month period during this time, the best we ever had was about 9 to 10 members over the course of 3 months, so roughly 3 members a month. And now this is all net too, bear that in mind. So we actually gained more than that. If I recall, it would be about 21 or 22. But we have lost individuals to holds for various reasons, unfortunate injuries or just life-changing circumstances, or summer schedules hitting where individuals are maybe out of town more often, or they're going to, they're not even here normally. They're only here for school or stuff during the fall and spring. But so we actually have lost, about 10 or so, or 11, and truly gained 21, 22. So our net is 12. So again, I'm excited about that. I really appreciate all your effort there. Continue to refer people to us, and I will always take care of you, especially for those who sign up and at least do an intro pass or something like that. So, and kind of to that effect too, a lot of people still are curious, like, how can I get my friends or family members or coworkers, neighbors, you name it, engaged? Always just direct them to me. That's one of the first things you can do. But it even helps, especially if you tell them to go to the website, obviously www.crossfitstrongsville.com, because then they can fill out their information, and I have opportunities to contact them in a couple different ways, through email and phone, of course, and that could even be through text. Sometimes the ball gets dropped. If you say, oh hey, I've got this friend, they really want to check it out, they'll reach out to you. Well, the ball could get dropped in there because it's not, I'll put it this way, if it's not in my hands, the ball's going to get dropped, possibly. So, because I will always follow up. I will call people, text, email, hunt down if I have to, but in some way, shape, or form, once I have their information, that's probably the most important thing. So have them go to the website. That would probably be even first. The first thing I'd say, just www.crossfitstrongsville.com. In fact, literally take out your phone or take theirs, navigate to it for them, and make them sign up on the intro form right there, and that's done, right? So the minute somebody says, yeah, I think I would really like to do that, cool, put it in their hand. But then especially let me know, give me a heads up, shoot me a text or whatever, and say, hey, my neighbor Jim is really interested in checking this out, etc. And I will work with them, I'll talk to them, and I'll figure out what's best for them for a way to get in the doors here. So a lot of people have been just doing a free first class as a way to check us out. It's been actually very successful, more successful than I thought, and especially more than historically we've had experience with in the past. So that's been really good, really encouraging in that way. That's saying that, kind of the program we have is working to not only obviously serve your guys' needs and meet your fitness goals, but also help get people engaged and started with us. So, now we also, of course, still do the one-on-one consultation, what we call the intro consult. That's another good way for me to really spend time with somebody, dive into some things, especially ask them important questions. So those are kind of two ways people get started, whether it's a free intro consult or a free class. And from there, they have the opportunity for an intro pass, which is a lot like the Groupon deals we used to run. It's basically a term of 2, 4, or 6 weeks. And over the course of that time, they have unlimited access for a, basically a special intro rate. So anyway, that'd be huge if you can continue to kind of filter people to me. I will be happy to serve them and get them engaged and involved here, okay? So I think that's kind of it for some of the membership stuff. Again, excited about those numbers. My personal goal is to make it to the next time that we meet, so in another 3 months in October, with a membership of about 130. So if we are able to gain another 10 people or more people to accommodate whatever holds or cancellations might be kind of naturally coming in over that time, that'd be phenomenal. So again, because my goal by the end of the year roughly was to be at around 150, and we tend to see a good spike coming around the October and November even time frame, and especially with some of the other fun stuff that we're going to have coming in the future. Okay, so very excited about that. Thank you for all your effort there and your continued commitment. So we also, we had our spring cleaning and stuff like that here. A couple different events like that. I have more fun events, more fun than having to clean all this stuff. But hope you guys kind of like the layout that we put together during that effort, and we're always trying to kind of adjust and make things make more sense, or sometimes even just make them not make sense a little bit, just to test the waters. That's part of the fun process of being an entrepreneur on my side, of basically kind of risking different scenarios and seeing what works. But especially too, we're gonna continue to add some new equipment with this equipment fund and things like that. So there might be some other small adjustments and stuff, but so far, this is kind of the plan for the space as it stands. So, but with other ideas, we've got a couple different things. I've been really wanting to get back behind some of the different charities and organizations that are in our area, different events like that. So I'm still kind of in touch with a few. If you have any contacts, anybody that you can get me set up with, that would be great. Where, maybe try to target one every 3 months. There's some sort of event or co-fundraising thing that we can do. That would be huge, okay? Additionally, too, I really want to get a guys' night together and a girls' night, a ladies' night kind of thing. So there's been some ideas thrown about for like the the blowout places or whatever in Strongsville, or whatever you chicks are into. That would work. I can help make some arrangements, get some stuff discounted, things like that, and we will have some dates for some different options for those in the very near future, I hope. I'm just trying to kind of get past all the early or middle of summer vacation kind of stuff, where people are kind of not so sure of their schedules and still navigating the waters of post-school or intra-school time frame of year. So we want to kind of get that information probably to you by the middle or end of the month. But so there'll be events like that. What else? we'll probably, I'll throw it out there about a potential competition I'd like to run in the October timeframe. We will be 5 years old, so the number 5 will be a big part of what that competition means. It will be a limited size competition, so I really kind of don't want to go for this big, grandiose thing. That would be cool, I get, but at the same time, sometimes it's just fun just to get together and have a cool community style thing. Now, obviously, we'll be open to other gyms and all sorts of things. I will release details as long as everyone kind of agrees, like they're down, and especially people will be able to pitch in and help with the process in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, we'll do cool prizes and shirts and all that kind of good stuff. I'm thinking it would probably be like a partner style competition, as we've traditionally done, and kind of running it in another unique way as we always try to do. So I'll have more details as we get there. I don't know if it will be called Get Strong in Strongsville, as we've traditionally done. It might be something else. So, but I'll put it out there on our voting on our poll if you guys are down, and especially if you think you'd be able to help. We'll go forward from there. And again, they'll probably shoot for maybe tail end of October range, somewhere in there. I don't know quite yet, so we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of for events. Some bad news, unfortunately, for the summer. I've been really working hard on trying to coordinate getting a kids camp set up for maybe even just a couple weeks here and there, a couple of days, things like that. Just honestly looking at our schedule and a couple of major things kind of coming up down the pipeline, what we need to devote some resources to, things like that. I'm not going to be able to run a kids camp this summer. My true goal is by the beginning of next year to start to absolutely have stuff set in stone for the following summer, and especially to have another resource. So that's the key element here. We need CrossFit Kids coaches to do CrossFit Kids programming, just for our insurance sake and kind of other things. After kind of looking into all my options there, I can't even really call it another program. There's other stuff that I have to do for the insurance side. So to keep things legit, which I always try to do, too legit to quit. Literally, seriously, it's a problem. But yeah, because of all that, we're probably not going to worry about that at this point. I know you're excited about trying to get your kids involved in a program, possibly again if they were part of a program before, or maybe for the first time. Remember, you can always chat with me about some options. We have multiple different class things and even small group or personal training things that could potentially work as well. But especially to get a regular full-fledged program going, that will take some time and effort. That I promise you, we're going to try to work on it and get it settled for the following summer. So again, sorry about that, but we will get there. All right. I'm just looking at the camera and seeing just how much I've got raccoon eyes right now. But all right, so that's kind of some of that. Our next clinic coming up is going to be about rowing. So I will put that out in the next couple of weeks. We're trying to roughly do them every 5 to 6 weeks, so you can get used to that schedule. There will be some other ones coming up in the future beyond that. So a gymnastic style clinic, a nutrition style clinic. In that gymnastics, by the way, we'll probably cover like toes to bar, different kind of elements like that. Not just pull-ups, but maybe trying to more get a broader approach to our gymnastics and kind of philosophies behind them. Yeah, gymnastics, nutrition, and I can't remember the other one I was thinking about. Oh, we'll figure it out. But kind of depends what kind of equipment we might have too, so that will play a role. But anyway, so we will present those other clinics too as they're coming, but again, every 5 to 6 weeks. So far, it's been pretty good attendance. I'm pretty happy with them. We're trying to still kind of figure out our structure for what that's going to look like every time. Really, it's kind of cool. I hope the people who have been to our clinic so far can express get quite a bit or as much kind of one-on-one attention as you can. It's not really like hey, everyone come in and you're expected to do this, then we move from there, that kind of thing. It's more, we present some general concepts, different things to get in mind. Then we have each of you kind of demonstrate where you're at and try to modify and add to that, give you some homework, different things that you can work on. So the rowing clinic will be next up, and that should be, again, in the upcoming weeks, actually probably first or so week of August range, I think. in addition to that, just got my noggin thinking a little bit here. Oh, the online training. So I recently launched an online training app that has been extremely successful. It's really like a personal training style online app. So what's cool is I'm training people all over the country now. We got quite a few actually working towards almost 24 who just want an opportunity to work in a more individualized basis, but still obviously can't train in-house with me at the time. So really neat kind of thing. Ask me if you've got any questions about it, or if you think you know anybody who might be interested. It's very affordable, and I program workouts for these individuals not only on what their capability is, their level, but also what they have access to equipment-wise. So, and then actually in the very near future, you're going to see another kind of online training option coming out soon. So, a couple different things just to kind of keep in mind, especially once you see the information sent to you. So, another thing I'm going to add to our poll is asking you about how serious you might be about being able to attend a 4:30 p.m. class, probably Mondays and Wednesdays, starting in the fall. So one thing that I hear a lot of is in some individuals, it would just work better for them if they could attend a 4:30 p.m. After school, or it's just a good time for them, what have you. So I've been working hard to try to get that set up, and I do believe we will have a solution for that. Again, starting more towards the fall time frame, so could be September-ish, somewhere in that back to school range. But at least I'm going to try for Mondays, hopefully Mondays and Wednesdays, and we'll add or subtract and just kind of see how things go. So 4:30 p.m. class is going to be noted on the poll option if you think you can attend, and that kind of thing, and if you'd like to see it. We have been kind of adding some classes and even taking some classes away from our current scheduling. So I haven't heard too many issues with how things have been going with that, but I'll obviously always share that with me. I do know there's some areas where we can still continue to add, and I'm working on that as much as I possibly can. So again, you can kind of use the comment section and let me know if there's certain special days or dates, times, whatever that could be better for you. I will tell you right now, Sundays probably will never be one again. So no classes on Sundays, except for the cool kind of like open gym style stuff that we've done in the past, like the track days and different things like that. And then also too, I'm kind of looking for some people who will be interested in running a Murph with me at least once a month, just part of my own training and everything else. I was talking to a couple of you yesterday about it. So I will put that out there, just in our Facebook side of things, and see if anyone wants to join along. So yeah, so I think that kind of covers most of the stuff. Again, you're going to need to look at that poll, that survey, to get to maybe get a little more detail, or kind of it will just make more sense since I just tend to talk, which I do. So one cool thing is we get to vote on the value of the equipment fund. So I have all the notes here with what we're going to do. So with our contributions in the past 3 months, plus the amount of interest that's been gained through the fund and everything else, we are at a very healthy, rounded up, $871, which is pretty cool. So a lot of you did do annual contributions, and many of you even chose the $3 kind of contribution too. And again, we had a very, very generous gift given to us by a member who totally wishes to remain anonymous. Only I and that person know. But what's kind of cool is the reason behind why they gave was especially exciting to me. Essentially, it was a cool pay-it-forward opportunity because they had been blessed in their life and they wanted to share that same blessing with others. So that's pretty neat. But they're going to remain totally anonymous. I'm not going to tell them. All right. But we got up to $871 for our equipment fund at this point, and we're going to have quite a few options with that money. Okay, so as I mentioned before, there's a voting process, and that's what this poll, this survey I'm going to go through Google Docs on that. Why that's going to be extremely important. I'm going to give you several days. So the time you're seeing this video, you'll probably also be receiving the link to that Google Doc, and you're going to have until I'm going to say, let's say Thursday maybe. So a good 4.5 days to make the decision on this. But and there's a reason time is of the essence, and I'll explain. So at any rate, with this money, there is kind of a minimum that needs to stay in the account to help with our percentages for the interest and stuff. So anything I have made available will be accommodating that. All right, so this is just so you know. But you're going to have a couple options. Your first option is going to be for us to replenish kind of some of our busted up bumpers, which we have quite a few in the 15 categories, even 25s, some 10s. So yeah, some of our bumper plates, we're going to replenish those. But we're also going to get some new dumbbells. All right, so we have a ton of dumbbell programming that we're excited to continue to offer because it's a key element of what we're seeing competitively in CrossFit. But also too, just the nature of what dumbbells provide is just excellent, especially for a lot of our newer individuals. It'd be a great way to just learn some mechanics of the clean without the kind of, the intimidation of working with a barbell. And because of the natural ability for your body to kind of maneuver around the weight and not have to respond to this linear object, you can kind of scoop under in the right ways, things like that. It can be safer, but also too, it's a different challenge, right? And that's the whole point of what we do, is we're constantly offering a new challenge and having to adapt and overcome. So we're looking for bumpers, a replenishment there, and some new dumbbells, some new pairs, especially like 35s and things like that. And they're going to be nice dumbbells too, by the way. Our second option, option B, is to replenish some slam balls and some new bands for pull-ups and all that fun stuff. Definitely I'm sure you guys see it, the kind of tentacle-y kind of stripping of the bands that's occurring. That would be cool if we can get some new ones there. We have had a couple snap. No one's been hurt, thank goodness. Knocking on wood. But then, of course, to get more slam balls, and that could include some new weights on slam balls, like 15s instead of just the 10s and the 20s. Possibly a couple 30s, maybe. We'll kind of see how it shakes out, what you guys decide to vote on here. But definitely some 20-pounders. We need those. All right. By the way, I was trying to come up with clever names for some of these options, which I might put in the poll still. Like badump bumps, dumbbell bumper, debump bump. I don't know. And then I don't know. I didn't really have anything for slam balls and bands that really seemed appropriate in case a child might have read it or heard it. So anyway, you might see some clever names, but that's what these things include, and I will be very clear in the poll with the survey, like what each option has. Okay. C is for a second timer and replenishment on our jump ropes. Okay, so getting a second timer allows for some unique options. How we run our classes can be done a little bit differently and maybe more efficiently, where some individuals can be working on the EMOM portion of his strength while some others are doing the workout. You name it. It's gonna open up some other options. Don't quite know where exactly I'd put the second timer yet. I have some ideas, but that is something kind of cooking. So second timer plus getting some jump ropes, some new handles, and new actual ropes themselves. Okay, so new cables. So you could enjoy that. Now the other thing about jump ropes is you can always buy your own. That's definitely cheaper than us buying a gym package, and it's set for you. You never have to worry about whether or not you can actually get access to the jump rope that you need. And if you ever need help with that, definitely ask. Just ask on our Facebook forum, what people have done, what kind of ropes they like. I'm a fan of RX jump ropes. That's my personal, but everybody has their own tastes and everything else. It's always never hurts to kind of try. Okay. But yeah, jump rope package could be included in option C there. So these are kind of the primary options. All right. When you're actually voting, you're going to have a few other ones, and those few other ones are just different kind of combinations. So let's say you're about to go vote with your poll, and you're like, what, all I really care about is I just want more bumper plates. I'm sick of having to make 15 happen with a 10 and a 5 and stuff like that. I really care about A. I'm just voting A. Well, that's all you need to do. You're just going to be clicking 1, you click A. Okay? Now, let's say you're like, you know, but 2, I wouldn't mind getting some more slam balls in the mix and stuff like that. I like both A and B. Well, that's cool because the fourth input you could give is for A and B. All right, don't worry, this isn't a multiple choice test. We're not taking SATs, ACTs, or anything like that. This is just basically saying I vote that I like A and B, so that's what I'm doing with D. Okay? E is for A and C. So you're saying I want some dumbbells, but I would like to see a second timer in here, or more jump ropes, or whatever the case is. So I'm going to go A and C. All right? E equals A and C. And again, I'll depict all this in the survey. F is for, what the heck is that for? Oh, it's for B and C, duh. B and C. So that's saying I want slam balls and bands, the second timer jump ropes. I don't care about the bumpers and the dumbbells at all, all right? So you're saying I'm going for B and C. So again, you could just say I care about A, or I care about B, or I care about C alone, or you can like the combinations. And A, B, C, oh, G. All of the above. We have the way, with this money that's in the account, we have a way to get a little bit covered in each of the options, okay? So you can basically say, I want A plus B plus C, all right? And that's going to be G. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to put this out there. You know, again, you'll be receiving this shortly today with the survey. And some of you probably won't even watch the video, and that's fine. Hopefully, at least, if nothing else, do the poll. The poll is extremely important. But Saturday, coming up, a week from the time of me recording this, almost 6 days, Rogue Fitness is doing their annual garage sale. It's, I think, their 9th one they're doing. Here's what's cool about that garage sale. It's going to be happening Saturday, the 14th, and it's literally a madhouse. It's kind of like Black Friday for a bunch of super jacked up, protein-rich, flexible, you know, beast mode people. And what happens is they kind of like set everybody up all on one side at whatever it is, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. The garage doors go up, or the equipment gets rolled out, whatever the case is, and then they go, have at it, Hoss, and people bleed and die in the effort of trying to make it. Kind of like storming the beaches of Normandy, but you know, filled with a lot more high knee socks and bandanas with ironic sayings. But so we make it to our whatever equipment we want, cash in hand, go boom, I want this, I want that. And what's special and what's super cool, and what's exciting about this for me, one, we're going to have a number of our people down there, so we can totally, you know, kind of gangs of New York it and do what we got to do to get stuff done. But we can use this equipment fund money to get all of this and potentially some other stuff on the cheap because they tend to do $1 equals 1 pound. All right, so instead of paying like $70 for a pair of 15, 20 pounders kind of thing, we're total 70 bucks. We're talking like $30 for a pair, you know, things like that. So significantly more affordable options, all great quality equipment and everything else. It's just what was used in the regionals that didn't get sold or in some way, you know, carted off somewhere else. So they bring everything back and don't want to keep it in their warehouse. So it's all super cheap. And we're talking competition plates like those cool ones Vinny has, all $1 a pound. So we have some cool cash that we can use towards that. So I'm going to basically make a special option, which is option H for hell yeah. Like, vote for this thing. Seriously, people, I'm telling you right now, vote for H. Anyway, for H for hell yeah equals hell yeah. And what I mean by that is I will be entrusted with that cash in hand to go down to Columbus on Saturday the 14th and risk blood, sweat, tears, and potentially getting shot over a pair of competition plates. And I will get as much as I possibly can and stow it up in my car and whoever else's car that comes down with me, and we will bring it all home. Okay, so that's kind of like my favorite option, as you could probably tell. Getting excited. I've got a little bit of goosebump action. Might be able to even see it in my shirt, but that's going to be option H. Okay, so basically it's going to say, Dave, go down to the garage sale and come back with cool stuff, or else we won't welcome you back and we'll lock the doors. That includes some new bikes and different things that they've got that I saw on the list. There's a bunch of sweet stuff down there. So anything that we can't manage to get through that effort, but also still receive some good votes and things like that, I will obviously do my best. Or again, we'll have 3 more months, more money will accumulate, all that kind of stuff, where we can revisit some of these. Okay, so you'll have some options to vote for. That newsletter, or rather that email survey kind of thing, is going to be hitting your inboxes here soon. Please go in, fill it out, get it done, so that I can make sure we're all set. And I'm going to say, like I said, we'll go till Thursday evening, maybe midnight, 11:59, something like that. That would be probably the cutoff for the survey, or somewhere in that range. I'll make it clearer in the email. But yeah, so I think that's kind of the big stuff right now. From a philosophy standpoint, and again, I hope that makes sense, but kind of moving to the side, from the philosophy standpoint, there's really not much. I've been really trying to communicate more often through the newsletter, any special thoughts that hit me, etc. But kind of one thing I noticed that's come up, or that I guess I overhear a lot, and this is a very common thing for, I asked any of my more veteran CrossFit affiliate owners, or gym owners, or other business owners in general, where they're at, kind of where they were at during the different, cycles of their business. And 5 years in, it's very normal for a gym like ours, for a community like ours, to experience high school-like symptoms of clickiness and just kind of people kind of moving at different levels and everything else. Because you think about when we're all brand new, when we're all a year or two, whatever old, just like in almost any social circumstance, everybody's on their best behavior, right? Possibly not even putting on a remotely similar mask or face to who they are as a person normally. And everything's still new and exciting for everybody. We're all kind of experiencing things on our own. But we all come into the picture as individual people, right? So we all have our own strengths, our own weaknesses, our own hang-ups, our own kind of pride issues, or areas of pride that we have, and all these different things. And so after 3-4 year mark, now we kind of get into that weird phase where people have gotten over the newness, right? And they're probably more their normal self, because it's pretty exhausting to be somebody you aren't every day, day in, day out, or as often as possible after several years, for sure, I'd imagine. Or I should say I know, I've been there. But now 3-4 years in and getting into the 5, all those different strengths and weaknesses some weaknesses have been kind of killed and turned into strengths. Or if nothing else, at least they're managed, right? Some of those strengths have fallen apart, too, because somebody found they enjoyed something else more, or whatever, pursued that as a different passion. Or maybe, those things have even been heightened, right? The strengths have become so much stronger. Somebody who came in really capable with a barbell really still loves that barbell and does everything they can every day, stays healthy, whatever. They're stronger on those barbell movements than ever. Or maybe they really enjoyed the cardio aspect and they're getting even better at the cardio and things like that. And all that is okay, but also too, weakness side, because maybe there's such a high kind of shining vision going on with that strength, those weaknesses have really appeared weak, An example kind of through a conversation I had with one of our members recently was kind of brought up, like, somebody got muscle up so they think they're better. And it's like, that person may think that. I don't know. I'm not in their head. I remember thinking it was pretty cool when I got muscle ups. I definitely would tell you I was no better than anybody else in the room for many other reasons, well beyond even the physical side of things. But even if we were to say things like somebody has the ability to do a muscle up, therefore they are better at CrossFit, well, that is only one physical aspect, one attribute, one thing that totally comprises a person. And so physical, while I kind of wrote it big enough so you could see it, all I consider that, like the physical capabilities of a person, all I consider is a dot smaller than that, which I doubt you can even see on the video. All right, because that little dot is not the whole picture of what makes a person. All right, it's a part of them. That little dot is there, but it's not who they are. All right, just like how much money you make is not who you are. The car you drive is not who you are. The city you live in is not who you are. The people that you are friends with is not who you are, right? Or anything, the clothes you wear, the movies you like to watch, the groups you're a part of on Facebook, and whatever else. None of that is who you are as a person, all right? It's a piece, it's a part, it's a tiny little aspect, but there's so much more going on with that. So if you're so centered on being so darn good at one thing, you put all your focus, all your drive, everything into just being physically that awesome, strong person, stuff like that, I bet you every other part of your life, your relationships, your work, your who knows what else, your emotional levels, your connection with people, things like that are falling apart. All right? And I want you to be excited and everything else. I want you to work and strive towards your goals and make cool things accomplished for you. I want you to do your first pull-up. I want you to, run a mile straight without, having to take a break and all those kinds of things. I want those. Those are still awesome. Those are still goals. Those are still great to have. And I'm not flying in the face of one of the very big important things of what we offer as a business and as a community and as a support group, as an encouragement group. But it's not the only thing. So for that reason, that's why I say back to that person who was talking like that person can do muscle-ups, they think they're better than me. And I think, if you know how little that it matters, at least to me, that somebody can do something like that in no way, shape, or form elevates them across the board with anyone else who's here, then why does it bother you? Why would it be important to you, right? Because it's just not. It doesn't matter. In that situation, the person who says this person is better than me because they can do pull-ups or they can lift 300 pounds and I can't, and all this kind of stuff. Guess who owns that? It's this person who's saying it. It's not the person who is doing the things that I wish I could do. It's not them at all. I'm the one owning that sense of responsibility that I'm somehow less than or weaker than or whatever than that person. All right? And even if that person is saying it to my face, so if you've got somebody in your life who sucks that much that they're going to come up to you and say, I'm better than you because I can do this, first of all, get them the heck out of your life. They are not worth it. Two, that even if they're saying it, it's still on you to own it. All right? And that's true of a lot. That's my big philosophies, especially these past year or so. But predominantly in my life, what I've tried to focus on and hopefully what I try to breed and teach to others is that at the end of the day, you are you, and you're incredible, you're beautiful, you're special. You have a whole unique purpose to be here, all right? And you give throughout the day other people power and control over you every time that you are jealous of what they have, or you feel that they are like better than you, or you even think they think that. You never know. Somebody might just be kind of in their own space, and you get a look, and you're like, man, that guy's pretentious, or that lady's pretentious, or she's got RBF going, and all these kinds of things. But like, you really don't know what's behind the curtain in there, right? There could be a whole lot that they're struggling, messing with, and all this kind of stuff. So again, don't give anybody power over you. You are a lion, and I like to run with lions. That's why I have this gym here. All right. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. I think that might eventually wind up being one of my tattoos, another one down the line. A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. And I'm not talking from the aspect of predator and prey. All right. There's a lot of sheep out there in the world, a lot of sheep who give power to other things, whether it's money, what's going on social media, the different stupid shows or celebrities they follow that impact their lives on a day, like all that kind of stuff. They are sheep. They give power to others. I want to be a lion. I always want to be a lion. I want to roar, and I want to rage, and I want to be kind of in control of all the elements that I possibly can control for me. And there's a lot I can't, whether situations and people around me and all these kind of things, but I can control me. I can be a lion about me. All right? I can be my own kind of king in some ways, but trust me, I surrender to another king. But regardless, like, I have control over how I'm impacted and how I feel based on the situations around me. I do, and I believe everyone does. So that's what I'm kind of getting at here. Is now that we're 5 years in, almost, people have evolved over the course of 5 years, and that's good. People have changed over the course of 5 years. Relationships have changed, and so much. Like, that's going to happen. We can't stay stuck as one thing. That's not living. That's death. And so I hope if you're getting any sense of that, talk to me. Talk to me about it. And especially, I will tell you this: no one knows that you have a problem with them until you let them know there's a problem, right? No one knows there's something they should be able to fix, or they should fix, or maybe even not that, just that it in some way, shape, or form is kind of coming off a certain way until you've spoken to them. So if you're going to hide behind a lack of wanting to be confrontational about something or whatever the case is, then guess what? You don't have an honor or the right to be offended about how they do things, all right? Because if somebody doesn't know, they're not mind readers. They can't fix it, all right? And that's true across the board, not just what happens in the gym. What happens at home, your significant other, like, they aren't mind readers, period, all right? So, yeah, but also to be a lion, all right? Don't give anybody else power. It's probably your own, some back of your mind, some situation that occurred when you were a kid or whatever the case was that told you you were not valued and worthless or stupid or weak or a quitter or whatever those things are that just happen to show up in that moment of heightened whatever. And I'm talking throughout the day, every different moment that you have, that is telling you the lie that you're not as good as somebody else. And that's not the truth, because we're all here. In fact, we're all down here. I'm not going to show with the camera, but we're all on the floor level. And not one person is above another, and I don't care what you claim to be your sense of value there, because your sense of value of appropriating some person above another is based on a human construct, and all human constructs fall apart. They all do, because we are fickle. We change our minds. Things happen. People change. Situations change. The weather changes. And our mood goes from, hey, I was happy, to now I'm sad. And just as quickly as we can change our mind, we can change our value system. And instead, we need to kind of center in on a core, get back to the right thing, which is we're all the same. We're all working hard, and we're all sweating, and we're all doing whatever we can to get to, hopefully a little bit better than we were the moment we walked in. That's what I built this dream on. That's why we're CrossFit Strongsville and not just CrossFit whatever. We're CrossFit Strongsville. Strongsville, right? The basis of the word Ville is kind of villa, and villa is related to a home, all right? And that's what I want this to be, is a strong home. And it's a home that has a family, and a family's going to fight and argue and have issues. Family's going to frickin' love each other and be there for one another when the chips are down, kind of thing. But especially, we're going to accept one another where they're at and help get them going to where they need to be. All right, so let's be the Ville. Let's be the home, CrossFit Strongsville. And let's take it home with that. All right? Well, I'm sorry. I promised this was going to be shorter. I don't think it was. Maybe 2 minutes shorter than our last one. Long talk. But hopefully you got a chance to kind of get all the information here. And remember, as I said, vote, vote, vote. Use the poll or survey option that I'm sending your way. We'll go for it from there. Next meeting will be in October, 3 months from now, and some clinics coming up in between. Continue to check your newsletters. There's information in those, links to things and different things like that. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.